Hey guys, I am Food by Faith Garden to Table and welcome in. So here we are, February the 5th, Sunday, February the 5th, and we're back with our planner. I had a young lady, my business name is Maisel Custom Baskets with Bows, and she made this planner for me this year, and so I have really been utilizing it not only for my business but also for my YouTube gardening business as well. So I am here to talk about the Planter TV challenge, the planter #planter HBC 2023. So that is the Planter Herb Garden Challenge. Let's get right into it. I have 7 herbs and one that is really not a herb, but it's a flower. But I'm going to actually grow for the challenge. The challenge started February the 1st, but of course, I'm just getting into it, and many of you can continue as well to join in. Just make sure when you are uploading your videos that you put in #planter HBC 2023. So let's get into it. The first herb that I'm going to be growing is the broadleaf sage. So sage broadleaf is the most popular of all herbs for seasoning because of its mildly pungent flavor and pleasant aroma. It can be used dried in stuffing and in pork or cheese dishes. The attractive plant can be used for great accents in your flower garden. And so with this herb, it is 70 to 80 days to harvest. The days to germination is 10 to 20. Another herb, the second herb that I'm going to be growing is lemon balm. Lemon balm is in the mint family. You can sow this outside 1 to 2 weeks after your average last frost date or up to 2 months before your average first fall frost date. So for me, I'm going to sow it inside in my garage under lamps. And our last frost date here in Georgia, zone 8A, is right now set at March the 6th. So my third one is going to be heliotrope. This is an annual Peruvian native, is sweetly scented, intoxicating vanilla fragrance, whether in the border or bouquets. So although this one is a flower, because something can be used as a tea, I sometimes consider it as an herb. Now, my favorite herb family is the Agastache family. So herbs 5 and 6 is going to be the Agastache Rose Mint and the Agastache Lavender Martini. So with the rose mint, it is an aromatic perennial with phenomenal minty rose fragrance. The lavender rose colored blooms are irresistible to nectar lovers, and it thrives in poor soil. So I was able to grow this last year and it did very well. I wish I would have grown more and dried some of the flowers out. But since I did not do that, I'm going to actually use one of my garden bags or one of my big garden tubs, and I'm going to grow both of these in there because I do want to harvest and use it for teas as well as salves. And you can use it in baked goods as well. So you can make your rose mint sugar cookies. I've done that with lavender before. I made some different dessert dishes and I added lavender to them. But of course, lavender is my nemesis, just like stevia. So I haven't been able to grow it successfully. And the last two that I'm going to enter in is the nasturtium and the safflower. Again, both flowers, but they can also be considered herbs because they are edible. So when it comes to the safflower, I've talked to you guys about this before. You've seen me grow it in my aero garden as well as you've seen me make rice out of it. It is a widely adapted variety from the village of Corrales, New Mexico. Flowers can be used as a coloring spice, dried to brew tea, and also can make a dye with a deep orange, almost red pigment. Deep tap roots are a very efficient soil breaker. The planting instructions say for you to directly sow outside. This is an annual, and you can directly sow outside before the last spring frost or sow indoors 6 to 8 weeks before the last spring frost. Requires well draining soil. Summer heat allows soil surface to dry out between watering. So with this one, I'm going to plant it in its own grow bag. You guys saw me take up all my grow bags last season or in between the fall and winter season, but I'm going to put this in its own grow bag because of the type of watering that it needs. The nasturtium, on the other hand, this is a opulent bloom. The compact 8 to 10 inch plants hold their striking blooms above their foliage, making for an extra lush and colorful display. Add this sophisticated element to window boxes, hanging baskets, beds, and borders. Sow in fine, moist soil and cover lightly. None of these items are frost hardy that I'm growing. Let me make sure. So the only herbs that I'm growing that are frost hardy are going to be the agastache. This one is a newer pack. This one is the last of this pack. And again, this is my favorite. I have about 10 seeds left in here, and I'm going to sow all 10 seeds. So I'm going to use one tray strictly for this, and then I'll add this one to another tray. So guys, that is it for me as far as my entry into the hashtag planter HBC 2023. So guys, remember, as always, get up, get out, and grow something, and let us see what you are planting this season.